Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into a really fascinating idea that could completely change how you think about your career, your goals, and pretty much all personal growth. It's called the 3-7 Law of Success, and it just might be the hidden rule you've been searching for. You know that old saying, right? The position makes the person? The idea is that if someone gives you a big title or a huge responsibility, you'll somehow just magically rise to the occasion. But what if that's not the whole picture? What if there's some kind of hidden rule that decides whether a position makes you or, well, breaks you? Well, according to the source material for today's explainer, there is a fundamental principle out there. It's described as an operational law of nature itself, one that governs exactly those outcomes. It's called the 3-7 Law, and getting a handle on it is the key to actually getting where you want to go.
So what is this law? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward. For a new job or role to be the thing that elevates you and brings you success, you need to be at least 70% prepared for it before you even get started. But if you jump into that same role with only, say, 30% readiness, the outcome completely flips. The position won't build you up, it'll overwhelm you, and, yep, break you.
And look, the difference here is it's night and day. There's really no gray area. Jumping in when you're only 30% ready is pretty much a one-way ticket to failure. But if you can wait, if you do the work and hit that 70% mark, success isn't just likely, it's pretty much a sure thing. We're talking two completely separate paths with totally different destinations.
And this is maybe the most important part. The source material really hammers this home. This isn't some clever business school theory or a nice self-help idea. It's presented as a fundamental, unchangeable law of the universe. The idea is that all of nature works on this 3-7 principle. So trying to ignore it, it's like trying to argue with gravity. Good luck with that.
Okay, so if 70% is the magic number, how on earth are you supposed to know when you get there? I mean, it's not like there's a test you can take, right? Well, this law suggests that the clues aren't on the outside, they're on the inside. Turns out you just have to learn how to read your own signals. So let's trace that internal journey. Okay, so here's where it gets kind of weird, or at least the opposite of what you'd think. If you feel this intense, burning desire for a position, that I have to get it feeling, you're actually not even halfway there. That feeling, that's a signal you're less than 50% ready. As you get closer, maybe around 60%, that desperate desire starts to cool down and turns into a quiet confidence. You start thinking, I could probably handle that now. And the final stage, attraction.
Let's just pause on that for a second. That burning ambition, that hunger that everyone tells you is a good thing, this law identifies it as a clear sign that you are not yet prepared. I mean, that just flips everything on its head, doesn't it? It suggests that real readiness isn't loud and needy. It's quiet, calm, and self-assured.
And this really makes that mental shift clear. Think of it like this. You've got chasing on one hand, which is all about that desperate desire, trying to force it. And on the other hand, you've got attracting, which comes from a place of genuine internal readiness. You're not trying to make it happen anymore. You've gotten so prepared that it just kind of happens for you. Okay, so this leads to the most powerful idea in this whole thing. What's the ultimate can't-miss-it sign that you finally hit that 70% mark? And the answer, well, it's pretty wild. So here's the big reveal. The biggest change is you stop looking. You stop sending out resumes, you stop desperately trying to network, you just stop chasing. And why? Because you don't have to anymore. The whole game just flips upside down. And this is the real magic. When you are truly 70% ready, it's like the world itself starts to rearrange things to put you in that spot. People will mention your name for the role. The right circumstances will just line up. The opportunity will literally come looking for you. It's not about your struggle to get the job anymore. It's about a law of nature putting you right where you're meant to be. And get this, the confidence level here is off the charts. Once that opportunity is brought to you, success is basically a done deal, 100% guaranteed. Why? Because you've already done the hard part, the preparation. The outcome is already decided. It has nothing to do with luck. All right, but what about the flip side? What happens when we get it wrong, jump in too early, and just completely bomb? Well, the 3-7 Law has a really, comforting take on what happens when you fail. I mean, it's the question on everyone's mind, isn't it? We've all been there, we've all taken on something and suddenly realized we're way in over our heads. So is it game over? Are you just done for? According to this way of thinking, not even close. This law reframes failure as, get this, data. Pure and simple. It's not a moral failing, it's not a sign that you're worthless. It is just nature giving you a perfectly accurate, totally unbiased measurement of where you are right now. Think of it like getting feedback, not a final judgment. So what do? The first thing is, don't panic. Don't get all emotional about it. You've got to be objective, kind of like a scientist. You look at the feedback, you accept your current level, no judgment, and you figure out what was missing. Then you just take a step back to a job that fits, get back to preparing, and trust the process. The law works both ways. When you're truly ready, the opportunity will come find you all over again. And this whole process, it's what really builds character. The source explains that as you become truly more capable and prepared, a real, genuine humility starts to show up. It's not about thinking less of yourself. It's about having an accurate sense of yourself and respecting the work that it takes to get there. So that really just leaves us with one last question to ask ourselves. In our own lives, in our own careers, are we focusing on the real work? Are we putting in the time to build our readiness up to that 70% level? Or are we just, chasing a title, pushed along by that desperate feeling that's actually a sign we're not ready at all? And honestly, the answer to that question could change everything.